So recently, Diddy was on the Breakfast Club, and a lot of people for years have been coming at him about how he's always treated his artist. Every artist that goes sign the Bad Boy, you never hear from him again. They would used to call it the Bad Boy curse. Actually, Diddy ruined his own legacy, because this is the thing. What I've learned: if people come work with you, and you try to give them some instruction, and then they can go on and do their own thing, that's a part of your legacy. But that's not the way he was. If those of you remember Bad Boy Records, I know today y'all don't really know that, but Diddy was huge, and everything he was putting out was hits. He had a lot of good artists, but every time somebody go to Bad Boy and they leave, you never hear from them again. It's not like other labels. And so people knew, say, if you want to get a record label, don't go over there with Diddy. Don't do that, because you're going to be ruined if you leave him. But anyway, so on that Breakfast Club interview, Diddy was telling people, oh, okay, well, if I done people wrong, we'll drop the receipts. Well, Mase, and shout out to Mase come out, and he had a problem with what Diddy said. Let's review it.
Let's go. Yo, I did this talking about he want receipts. Let's start with your mother. Your mother got the receipts. Everything is in your mother's name. That's the one who got the receipts.
Man, so Mase saying allegedly Puff put everything in his mama name? Wow, brother. That's interesting.
You need more proof? Biggie ain't here, so Big can't give you no receipts. He dead. Craig Mack can't give you receipts. He dead. What are you talking about? Who else? Black Rob can't give you receipts. He dead. And everybody else you made sign paperwork so they can't talk about what I'm talking about. I'm the only one with the guts. And I sign it, because I ain't need the money. All money ain't good money.
So what Mase is saying is that Puff made them sign a NDA, or a non-disclosure agreement. So basically, when you sign a non-disclosure agreement, they have in there where, hey, you can't talk about me publicly. You can't talk about the business we had. You can't talk about anything you seen, whatever. And if you're willing to sign this, I'll cut you this check. Never sign an NDA. I won't do business with anybody that talks about NDAs. I won't do it, because I'm saying, look, if you did something shady in a business dealing, I'm gonna talk about it. Now, I got discretion. I don't discuss all business publicly, because it's not the right thing to do, right? Even if I have a disagreement with somebody, I'm not going to discuss it publicly. But if you are coming out here putting out lies and say, oh, this happened when we did business with this person, no, I got to have the ability to defend myself. Right? But them NDAs prevent you from defending yourself. So I couldn't go to, let's say if I had signed an NDA with anybody and they out here lying about business and people look at me a certain way, I couldn't say nothing, because, I'll get sued. Right? I'll get sued, probably for $1 million or more for speaking out on it. So I would never sign that. Like I tell anybody, you ain't going to do no business with me if it's going to be any kind of NDA. So Mase was smart. He didn't have to sign that, so he could say whatever the hell he want to say. Well, let's continue.
Remember that. Remember that. Remember that. You know who to play with.
And see, Mase, was also saying that, hey, he owe him some money too, because everybody said that Puff, owed him money, screwed people. You remember? I remember, Freddie P. From the band, right? He had an issue with Puff, because he said that Puff basically went behind the scenes in Miami and, screwed him over on the music scene. So he got issues with Puff. Everybody been coming out talking about I ain't heard one person come out and say, man, Puff did this to me. Man, I'm so appreciative of what he really did. He did this for my family, that for my family. When it comes to music, I'm not saying other things that he's done. When it comes to music, no. He has not been a good businessman with his artist. Your artist can solidify you. Your artist can make you bigger, and that is a shame. And a lot of times in hip hop, we don't, those who love the hip hop culture, the Black American culture, because a lot of people trying to steal hip hop today. I don't know what's up with these corporations who are white-owned corporations sitting up here talking about Latinos and hip hop just because they was in a room and they was part of the creation. No, they wasn't. It's not their culture. Now they brought up, I think BT the other day bringing up, well, Asians, AAPI is part of hip hop. They was not part of the creation. That's not their culture. One thing I would never do is sit up here and allow anybody else to steal my culture. because hip hop is part of my Black American culture. Just like everybody else protect their culture, we should protect our culture too. Because like I said, if these people so-called help create it, why aren't they the dominant artist? You know, why is it you only have a one Fat Joe? Why isn't it a bunch of them? You know what I'm saying? If you create it, you should be the main ones doing it, right? If you're talking about AAPI artists, and then the people they put up on the BET thing was people who, you know, had a Black parent and maybe an Asian parent. You know, whatever the hell that's about, right? So right now we dealing with a war with the corporations, at least an ideological war with the corporations trying to siphon off our culture, our creation, right? Which is hip hop, and trying to act like everybody else gets a hand of it. No. One thing I believe in is gatekeeping of culture. I believe in that. Everybody else gatekeeps their culture, even within the Black world. You know, African people gatekeep their culture, and they should. Caribbean people gatekeep their culture, and they should. Black American people is going to gatekeep our culture and our creations. And Puffy, he's Diddy, whatever you want to call himself this week, is part of that culture. And unfortunately, he didn't do what was right in that culture too. Not to say he didn't have no contributions. He did a hell of a footprint on hip hop. I just didn't like the way he do business. Now, if he was about the right thing, why don't he sit down with Mase and cut Mase a check and have that man stop talking about you? Cause I think it was around the time he said something about $2 million. Man, go ahead, cut that man a $2 million check and say, look, man, this my brother here. We sat it down. You know, I was wrong for some of the things that was going on, you know, but this is my brother. Let me go ahead and cut my brother this check here. And we squashed it. It's good. It's all good, man. We probably gonna get in the studio and make a record. So, I mean, you know, that's what people say, oh, that's what's up. That's what's up. You know what I'm saying? But they had this mess going on since the freaking, 90s, bruh? I mean, this is 2022. Man, let that junk go. Puff, you got gray hair all over the place. Of course, you know, you use just for men like everybody else. You got gray hair, you got gray in your beard and everything. Let that go, brother. Pay that man his money. Have that man stop talking bad about you and just move on. But y'all let me know what y'all think about Diddy, man. Like I said, I remember all the stuff he done to people. Every artist, I remember even the making the band shows. He had the band. The first album was good. You can listen to it on YouTube Music. The band actually was a good album. Put those people together. Never heard from him again. Other than, I think with Chopper, you heard of him, and Babs had did her, particular, Queen of the Ring thing she was doing, other music. I know, what's the other brother named Ness? He was a good rapper, right? You really hear much about him. Dylon did all the, the Jamaican stuff. Like I say, well, he sounded actually good in some of that. I think he should have went heavy. And maybe he is doing a lot of Jamaican music right now. I mean, that's his culture, right? And Sarah sung pretty good, in the band. I mean, I don't see why they couldn't just all just do their own solo thing if they wasn't going to be together. And you have Danny Kane. You had that come out. Okay, the album's decent or whatever, but all that mess broke up and you never heard from them again. All that stuff is because of him. And then heard later down the line he was screwing Aubrey and I'm a firm believer in business. You don't lay down where you eat. Period. Like anyone that work for you is off freaking limits because I need them to get to the bag for me. I'm not about to complicate things with anything like that. At least that's how you're supposed to think in business. Me, that's not my issue and problem. I got a wife. But anyway, y'all let me know what y'all think about, the situation with our brother Mase here, because, Mase, he owned it.